Hello, MCFRS. Today, this message is about seatbelts and supplemental restraint systems. Our apparatus is very complex. There's a lot of systems in design of that apparatus to keep you safe. Seatbelts, airbags, roll tech, all of which is designed to ensure your safety. We've had an alarming trend over the last several weeks of apparatus that have been found with these systems defective, or I might say purposefully defeated, disconnected, and alarms enabled. This is quite alarming to me and shocking. And this video is to set some baselines and to provide an opportunity to each and every member of MCFRS. These airbag systems are there to supplement the seatbelts. These seatbelts are 3-point. So why are people taking a 3-point seatbelt and converting it to a lap belt and putting the shoulder component over their back? Why are people using a dummy end to engage the seat sense alarm so that they're able to go without any seatbelt restraint at all? Why are people disconnecting the connectors under the seat behind the riding positions to prevent the alarms from engaging? Why are people flipping the dash underneath the radio and the siren on engines, for example, and pulling the wire off the back of the horn for the seatbelt alarm? All of this has been found. There have been 4 engine companies where connectors have been found open. I'm not going to say they were tampered with. I'm going to say it's quite hard and very much a challenge for them to come apart on their own. And there's indicators when they do open up that they are open. As you watch this video, I challenge anyone with inside MCFRS to come meet with me. Come explain to me why you don't want to wear your seatbelt. Come explain to me why it is an okay practice for the seatbelt systems to be overcome. But when you do that, you'll be coming with your spouse, your parents, your loved one. They will sit with you while you explain to me your rationale, and I will explain my rationale to you and your loved ones as to why these systems are in the apparatus. After this video is released, there will be a unit-by-unit inspection in which we will assure that seat sense components are functioning, SRS airbag components are connected, and the SRS lights, specifically on the dash, are not illuminated. This will occur in a very rapid fashion, and I expect to find some apparatus with some of these systems defeated. Let me talk a moment about the components. Underneath the seat in the E3, 4, and 5 area, focusing on the engines, you see an assembly of a black tube, some wires, yellow wiring harness, black wiring harness. Each of these has a different components. The black tube is actually the pretensioner device. That's the component that draws you back into the seat and draws the seat down upon the triggering of the anti-roll system. Pulls you into the seat, keeps you down and back upon the rollover situation. The yellow connector, as you see in the picture here, is the main component that controls that pretensioner. If this plug is undone, the SRS light on the dash will illuminate. The black connectors underneath the seat are the seat sense components, and it's configured in 2 parts. One for the male buckle coming into for the seat belt, and the second, the pad or cushion weight sensor. Both of these wire components come to that connector and then route to the alarm in the dash. Again, apparatus has been found with the SRS connections open, as well as the seat sense and seatbelt connectors adjusted and pulled apart. Some units, these are being brought back from CMF completely hardwired, so they cannot be removed. It is my expectation, because I'm not here to cite policy, safety while apparatus is clear and says you will wear a seatbelt anytime the vehicle is in motion. It is my expectation that we use the supplemental safety systems, we use the seatbelts, and all personnel responding on calls, en route to events, riding an apparatus with the exception of those very limited approved events where seatbelts are supplemented by other restraints, and they're very clear in the policy, but on a day-to-day basis, it is clear you need to use your seatbelt. Vehicles should not be moved when personnel do not have their seatbelt engaged. As we talk about the SRS light is supposed to come on when you do the gauge sweep and the unit begins to start, as shown in this videotape. The SRS light then goes off. Anytime the SRS light is on and remains illuminated, that is a defect criteria and a defect condition, and that needs to be written up. The SRS light can only be turned off or situated so that the lamp goes back to standby mode by CMF technicians via computer connection. So if the SRS light does not come on during gauge sweep, or the SRS light is remaining illuminated, that again is a defect criteria. Seatbelt and the sense alarm. Some of the units are different by design. The newer 2014 engines have a smarter technology that's designed to ensure that the seatbelt is engaged after weight is put on the seat. But it is real clear that each day, the crew, the officer, the driver must ensure that the seatbelt alarm, the seat sense components for all riding positions are functioning properly. If it's not functioning properly, defect criteria. If the alarm is not sounding, the horn is not audibly producing a signal in the dash, again, defect criteria. I don't understand why we're not using these systems correctly. I have no other explanation as to why the SRS connector was undone on several engines and why the seat sense have been undone. I have talked to folks once before about why we took a 3-point seat belt and converted it to a lap belt. And I don't understand why. I offer everyone that opportunity again in the invitation. Come meet with me and explain the why. So to wrap up, seatbelt, supplemental systems, all of which are there for your safety, critical for you to have and use every time you're in the apparatus. And it is my expectation with this message that that is our baseline. Adjustments, violations, or failure to comply with that will not be tolerated and will be dealt with accordingly. Thank you for everyone who does wear their seatbelts, who is using their proper safety procedures on a regular basis, and absolutely do it on a always activity. If you're one of those that may not be, you're one of those that knows how these couple engine companies have been adjusted, or you did it yourself, please understand, once we're made aware of who these people are, we will make adjustments and deal with those appropriately. Thank you everybody from MCFRS. Thank you everyone for your focus on safety, and ensure you're using your seatbelt and the seatbelt systems, SRS, roll tech, and airbags are all functioning